Hi. So I have some fun news. I am going to be at the 2016 Comic-Con convention signing my books. I'll be there with my fantasy book Pact and my sci-fi book Dying for the Rose, and I'll be signing them at the Prism Comics booth, which is 2144 in Hall C. Prism Comics is a collective that promotes LGBT authors and creators. And I'm going to be there on Thursday and Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So if you already have tickets for Comic-Con 2016, I'd love for you to come on by and check it out. But in honor of being at Comic-Con, I wanted to do the top 10 bisexual sci-fi characters of all time! Of all time. And you might ask, what am I basing this on? I'm basing this on exposure, popularity, longevity, and just overall awesomeness. So, let's get started. Number 10, Lestat. What? Who is Lestat, you're asking me? Number one, I can't believe you're asking me that. Number two, Lestat is the lead vampire in Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. She was portrayed by Tom Cruise in the 1994 movie. And without The Vampire Chronicles, there would be no True Blood or The Vampire Diaries. It was the first most popular vampire series at the time, and it has the heralded success of having a bisexual as the lead character. Number 9, Sarah Lawrence, otherwise known as White Canary in the DC Universe. Just created a few years ago for the CW television show Arrow. She has gone from being just a featured character in Arrow to being a lead character in Legends of Tomorrow, another hit series for the CW. Number 8, Clark Griffin. Clark Griffin is the lead character in the CW's television show The 100, and going on to season 4 with about 1.5 million viewers a week. She is a young bisexual character who is not only portrayed as strong and independent, but she is portrayed on camera as having sex with multiple characters. So, thumbs up to her. Number 7, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is another character from the DC universe, and although she's been around for a while, it was only confirmed by one of the creators in the DC universe that she and Harley Quinn were in a long-term relationship. And considering the fact that at least in multiple incarnations of Poison Ivy, the one I know the best would be the animated series, the Batman animated series. She was always quite flirtatious and flirty with Batman, which would make Poison Ivy one of our lead bisexual characters. Number 6, Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray is the lead character in a novel which was published in the 1800s by Oscar Wilde, in a novella called The Picture of Dorian Gray. He's also a character being portrayed on Showtime's Penny Dreadful, and in both incarnations, he is bisexual. In Penny Dreadful, they really show you that he is bisexual in many very naked ways. And he was written by a bisexual or maybe a gay author, who is, of course, Oscar Wilde. Number 5, Mystique from the Marvel Universe. It's often wondered whether or not Mystique was bisexual, but it was very clearly stated by one of the creators, Chris Claremont, who said that even though the character was created in 1978, she was always intended to be bisexual. And her popularity continues to grow and grow, especially with Jennifer Lawrence portraying her in the latest X-Men movies. And she has pretty much been the star of those two mega blockbusters for the past 2 movies. Number 4, John Constantine. John Constantine was a character created in 1985 in one of the Swamp Thing comic books, and later on got his own comic book, Hellblazer, in 1988. He would seem to be a lesser character except for two facts. He was portrayed twice, once in a movie by Keanu Reeves, and then once in a TV show on NBC. In neither incarnations was he portrayed as bisexual, but John Constantine seems to be coming back from the dead again on the network CW. And since the CW has already given us the bisexual characters in The 100 and in Legends of Tomorrow, there's a very good chance that if John Constantine raises back up from the dead, he will once again be portrayed as the bisexual that he was created as in the comic book. Number 3, Catwoman. Oftentimes it takes a while for us to come out as bisexuals, and Catwoman would be a perfect example of that, because Catwoman was created in a Batman comic book series back in 1940, but it took until 2015 for Catwoman to finally come out. So Selena Kyle, you've been with us for a long time, and we're all happy that you were able to come to grips with your sexuality. Number 2, Captain Jack Harkness. Captain Jack was a character created for the Doctor Who series in 2005, and very quickly became one of the most popular characters on the show. So much so that in 2006, the BBC gave him his own television show, Torchwood, which ran for multiple years. Captain Jack was the first bisexual, openly, clearly bisexual character I saw portrayed on television. His love of both men and women was a defining part of his characteristic, and the joy in which he went about life was something that drew many fans to him, making him the second most popular and the greatest bisexual character of sci-fi history. And before I give you the number 1 bisexual character of history, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs to 2 characters, one being from a novel called Gateway, the Gateway series. It's a series published by, or written by Frederik Pohl, and it was published back in 1977 and is widely considered to be one of the best sci-fi series ever written. And the way I discovered the main character of Robbie Broadhead was I was listening to the audiobook, and I was going along and I was enjoying it, and out of nowhere the main character starts having sex with a guy and a woman at the same time, and the main character is confused by it, confused about why he's doing it as opposed to his desire for it. And just like that, I was introduced to the concept of there being bisexual characters in sci-fi books, which probably helped to lead to, my first sci-fi romance, which was Dying for the Rose. So that would be one shout out to the Gateway series and Robbie Broadhead from the author Frederik Pohl. And the second shout out I'd like to give is to Dr. Jekyll, and I guess also Mr. Hyde. Although he was not written to be bisexual in the original text, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movies, portrays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as being a character, Dr. Jekyll having created his formula to escape some of his negative characteristics, one of which was his attraction to men. So shout out to those 2 characters who didn't quite make the list of the top 10 bisexual characters of all time, sci-fi characters of all time, but they're worth mentioning. And now, the number 1 bisexual sci-fi character of all time, have you guessed it? It's Harley Quinn. That's right, although only created in 1992 in the Batman animated series, not even a comic book, though created there as to be a sidekick to the Joker, this woman is a star. She went from that small character to being one of the most popular female villains or characters in the DC universe. So much so that in 2016, this year, the Suicide Squad movie is coming out, and it seems from every trailer that Harley Quinn will be stealing the movie, catapulting her to a stratosphere that can only be matched by other DC characters like Wonder Woman. There will be no surprise if she ends up either with her own television show or with her own movie in no time. So those are my, and I'm going to say the definitive list of top 10 bisexual sci-fi characters of all time. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have I missed any of your favorite characters, or who do you think should be on the list or in a different order? Please let me know. And again, if you're going to be at the Comic-Con convention 2016 and you're going to be there on Thursday or Friday night, please stop by. I will love to talk to you. Again, I'm going to be there from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and I'd love to talk to you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I do many videos on bisexual topic, but I don't do them on a regular basis. So if you want to know when the next video comes out, you have to click on the little button that says, let me know when a new video comes out. Until the next video, stay cooler, my bisexual friend. Stay cooler. Bye-bye.